Okay. All right, we got most steps back into place. Let's see if we can get our guests.
Chris, you can hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. What's up, man? Oh, wait a minute. Now, can you hear me? Uh, All right. Well, welcome everybody back to the show. Um, uh, okay, I can see you.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, we good?
Yeah, we good.
Yo, you know what happened? I was using my 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 laptop and it's
Uh,
not functioning with this. I don't know why.
got you,
But we
man.
here
Well,
we here now. So
sure.
how you doing?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Can't complain, man. Can't
Yeah,
complain another day.
for sure, man. I appreciate you, being here. You one
Yeah.
of the game. You know, man.
Yeah. I appreciate you having me.
No problem, no problem, man. Well, before we get started, I got to ask you, what was the most positive thing you took from 2020?
The most positive thing I took from 2020, I'm just gonna say life in general. You gather an appreciation for life going through extreme circumstances like that, and that's like a once in a lifetime thing for our generation. It doesn't happen very often to go through something like that. So to go through something like that for the first time that past ancestors and etc. have went through before us, and for us to finally get our hand at it, it was really trying. But through it all, man, it shows you true strength. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, sure.
What
Yeah.
about yourself?
Um, it just kind of made me realize, what was important and what wasn't, and it also showed me that, it's positive. It could be looked at as negative, but it's positive where it could just show you how everything can change in the blink of an eye. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. That's right.
Really, just appreciate what you have when you have it.
Yep, that's right.
So yeah, man.
Yep.
Uh, but again, thank you for being here. Um, Guess we'll just dive right in. Do you mind telling the people, who you are, where you're from, what you do?
Hey, what's going on? IG, my name is CL Driver. I'm pretty much your neighborhood friendly Spider-Man type of guy. I'm low key, stay to myself. I'm big into sneakers. Um, I work for a living. I'm gonna just keep it at that, keep my little Peter Parker thing going.
Cool.
Um, I'm a family guy. I have a wife and I have a kid. So that's pretty much where I'm at with it.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let's go into the sneaker origins, and let me just ask you,
Mhm.
what was your earliest, sneaker moment or memory?
My earliest memory will have to be when I was in first grade, and I remember it like it was a day, like it was yesterday. So me and my mom, we lived in Atlanta. I'm from New York, by the way, but at the time I lived in Atlanta for 2 years. So we were in Atlanta. I met up with some kids. Dude named Sebastian. I'll never forget his name. I could remember his face clear as day. He came to school in some British Knights. I
Mm,
don't know if anybody knows what that is, but at the time it was like a big thing. So British Knights, and he was telling me, "Yo, you should get these. Tell your mother to buy you a pair." And da 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 da. So I went home and I was like, "Mom, I need a pair of British Knights." She was like, "British Knights? I'll get you a pair eventually. I'll get you a pair. Don't worry about it. I'll get you it." She didn't get it for me because we was in the process of moving back to New York, but I kept begging her, "Give me a pair of British Knights. Give me a pair of British Knights." So that's my earliest memory with recognizing sneakers.
yeah, the late '80s, the British Knights was hot. I remember that.
They were hot.
I never owned a pair until 2017.
Oh, you had a pair?
Yeah, I have a pair now. I have the Derek Coleman Diamond Cells.
Oh,
I found them at
I,
closeout store.
I wasn't as fortunate as you. I've never secured a pair. She didn't get them from me.
Yeah, they surprisingly, whenever I see them, I mean they're never in a good size, but I see them at a lot of closeout stores. You know, your Burlingtons, your Rosses. So
Right.
you know, but yeah, yeah, but they're around. I don't know if you'd wear them now. I mean, some of the stuff I see you have, you probably won't even want. you know, oh
No,
man,
those are childhood classics, Chris. If
yeah,
I could
yeah.
find a pair that I could wear, because the thing with me is I get a little like antsy if I'm not wearing something. Like I like to have use to everything that I have. That's the one thing about me. So
Got
I've done went through collections based on the fact of if I'm not utilizing it, I just gotta depart ways with it. I
mm,
like to utilize all my stuff. Yeah, I'm
wow.
big on that.
So it's nothing just hanging around if you ain't wearing it.
Nah, not no more. Nothing just chilling in the closet.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Mhm.
All right, now we know each other, through Nike Talk, years.
Right.
What brought you to Nike Talk?
Oh man, that was like my outlet, my peace of mind. I was just starting college. I had no resources on when things were coming out, such as when releases, and I had just missed out on I believe it was the infrared sixes. I wanted
Okay.
those bad. I wanted the infrared six. I think that was around 2000, right? I think it
Yep.
was 2000, 2001. I wanted those bad, and I missed out on them, and I had to settle for the navies, the white and navy sixes. I didn't really want them, but I wanted a pair of sixes, and those was the next best thing. So I was like, what can I do to get ahead of the curve to be on top of releases and be able to cop things that I want efficiently? And then Nike Talk just happened to fall on my lap.
Yeah. Yeah. I say 2001 is when I discovered them.
Mhm.
I was killing some time. Cause I used to have to watch my little sister. I used to kill time at the library sometimes, and I was just messing around looking for shoe information, and I ended up just
Mhm.
coming across it, and you know, um, I haven't done it in a couple of months, but I still post in the "What did you wear today?" every now and then, just for the nostalgia thing. But oh man, I remember I had to
That's
post.
where I remember you from.
Yeah,
You
man.
were you were you were you were a big dog, and what did you wear, man? Big dog,
Yeah, yeah. Those some good
sure.
times. And seeing people like you is what got me to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
Now
posting.
you started a little earlier than me. Like you had a head start. Like you had like a whole collection. Your collection was pretty much cemented a bit. When I was watching you, I was just on the ground running. I just was starting to build and learn what collection and having a couple of sneakers was all about at the time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I still the picture I remember the most. I think you posted it was you and y'all was on a couch. It was you and Sides, and y'all was on a
Me
couch.
and size nine Jordans. Yep,
Yeah,
another legend.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I would see y'all and everybody else from New York posting. I was like, man, I got to get in on this. I had to figure out. I couldn't figure out how to post pictures at first, but once I
Mhm.
did, it was over.
Mm, definitely was sure.
But yeah, man, I've been meaning to ask you that. But okay, okay.
Hmm.
Now you said that you're from New York. I mean, I can
Yeah.
hear I can hear it, but I'm down south in Atlanta.
All
Um,
right.
where back in the day, we'll just say in the Nike Talk era, where was your favorite place to cop your sneakers from?
Um, we were going to Finish Line, Foot Locker, anywhere that we could get in, we were going there. Mom and pops. Those days was like the golden era. These kids don't know what they're missing out on for stuff like that. Like there was no
Yeah,
buys, there was no online. Like if I beat you to the store and I'm in the line, I know I'm gonna get my sneakers. Like that was just the way things went back then. So I just knew to be at the store, like a Finish Line, Foot Locker, etc. Like 6 o'clock in the morning, and they open like at 8, and I always got secure my pair. And there was a time at one point when I think it was Foot Action. They was doing like pre-orders. So I even pre-ordered a pair of Space Jam. Nobody was even thinking about Space Jams at that time. So I went in there, I signed my name up. I didn't leave no money. He was like, just come I think it was the 24th, before I went for winter break from college. Come and get your kicks. I went in there, paid my $120, and I got the Space Jams, and things was sweet back then, man.
Yeah, I remember. So we had a spot here. Well, I should say not here because I'm in North Carolina now, but I'm from Cleveland. So
Yeah,
we had,
I definitely know you from there.
yeah, it was a spot. It's really big in Philly, but we had them in Cleveland. It's called City Blue, and
Hmm.
used to what I used to do was I used to pay more money to have the shoe early, and I was paying like
Mm,
$100. But now it's like a regular price. $200.
right,
Because
right.
I got the Space Jams maybe like 2 weeks early. Um,
Mm,
I was shell shocked by how you remember how the black and reds were, back in the '90s. I'm like, man, this could be just like that. Niggas could be wilding. You know what I mean? I need to be there. You know,
right.
so I ended up doing that, and I didn't even need to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, a month later, you can still, get them for the most
It's
part. So,
right. It's like a waste of a spade card, right?
yeah, yeah,
That,
because I mean, the only in that first retro series, the only 11s that were hard to get were at least for me, were the cool grays. They were a little difficult.
yeah, I have a story about those. Yeah. It wasn't hard for me to get it because I ended up going to a mall that was like far out from me where kids wasn't thinking about sneakers too much, but they didn't have my size. So they didn't get shipments. I'm a size 12. They didn't get shipments on my size at the time. So me and my boy were at the door, and it was another kid I bumped into. I knew him from Brooklyn, and he was saying, yo, they got only one 11 and a half. I was going to take the 11 and a half, but then I was like, you can have it. So they was like, we only got two size 13s left. So my boy was a 13. So he took the 13. He was like, go ahead, take it, man. You good. You go rock those, put thick socks on. You'll be straight. Man, I was miserable with them things. It bothered me like an eyesore knowing that I had those 13s on and I didn't fit them. But just to be able to secure the sneaker, I bought them and I wore them a few times. I ended up giving them away to my friend at the time. Like a couple of months down the line in the summer, I just gave it to my friend. I just couldn't deal with wearing the 13 no more.
Yeah. So my story with the cool grays was, I remember the date, March 3rd, 2001. Randall Park
Mm,
Mall is the sneaker mall. There's like 10 shoe stores in there. But like, it was the one and only time it was like a sneaker riot. It was sort of like how they were saying people was for the pigeons.
right.
At place it was like that, but it was inside a mall. It was people rushing each store gate. Seeing two different dudes jump from the second floor to the first floor. Like I never seen shit like this. This is 2001, so before resale. You know what I mean? Like
Yo,
niggas wanted the shoes. I'm like,
yo,
it was crazy. Like it's people I'm friends with now that I wasn't friends with them, but we were all there and saw that shit. You know what I mean? Like
right.
so. I've ran shoe releases that were bad, but nothing ever to the level of that.
Mm,
You know. So yeah, that was wild. And I mean, I never seen that for a Jordan, especially for nobody to really care about the Concords or the
right,
Space. Nobody cared about the Columbias. Like they were still on shelves while people were
right.
riding for the Grays. So,
Hmm.
but this is a special shoe. I need a pair because that pair from 2001, I never got to 2010. My pair from '01, the bottom is like orange, so I need
Oh
a
yeah. Oh yeah, of course. They probably gonna do some soul separation on you too if you try wearing them.
yeah, because that happened with
Right,
my 2000 Space Jam, so they're just kind of a collector's item in the box now. I'm not gonna try to wear them.
right. I tried wearing my black and reds and the soul separated. I ended up having to throw them in the garbage, yeah.
Oh,
But I
my
ended up buying them again.
well, yeah, like my '01 black and reds are the only ones that are still trucking along, but I still bought the last pairs. I'm like, well,
Right.
20 years old, I'm on borrowed time with these, so Let me
Right.
just. But yeah, okay, okay. Well, I know you got a crazy collection. You always have had the best of the best. I mean, do you still buy new releases now?
Yeah, for sure I do, but I'm a little bit more different than I was back then. Back then, I was more of an impulse buyer, and because of that, went through so many collections. I had four major collections, I would say. So each collection, you start, you build it, and you have a vision on how you want it to grow and where you want it to go. So there was times I would walk into a mall, I would see a sneaker, oh, $80. Oh, that's a good deal. Let me get that. I was just buying, and it had no rhyme or reason. But nowadays, my latest collection, which I started in maybe 2016, 2017, is when I started really thinking out things. Like, if I didn't have it on my list or if it wasn't in my heart to get it, I'm not getting it. Like, I'm so straightforward and I know what I want. So, new releases, yeah, they do interest me, but if I don't have my heart set on it, I'm not just gonna buy it just to buy it because everybody's getting it or it's the coolest thing to get and things of that nature. So I pretty much know what I want nowadays.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
Now, if you don't want to, tell us, it's cool. But we talked about where how you used to copy. Where do you get stuff from now?
Nowadays, hey man, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, man. If I ain't getting on Sneakers app, I'm on StockX or Go. I'm like everybody else. I don't have no plugs, no hookups. Those days are over. Now it's like my own muscle, my own groundwork. So I go out there. If I see something, if I miss on it, I gotta pay the price just like everybody else on these sneaker sites.
Sure, sure.
Hmm.
Like there are shoes like all right. For instance, they brought back the second Air Max 96.
Right.
Stuff that like I know that's not gonna sell out. So that stuff like all
Hmm.
right, I'm gonna get those or whatever. But like on the Jordan side, I need a new pair of midnight navy sixes and then again the cool grays.
Hmm.
But I've already mentally detached myself from the shoe, so if I don't get it, I won't be too disappointed.
So you won't go out your way to say, hey, I'm gonna just go to StockX or like a Go or some source like that to grab it and secure it. Because it's still relatively not too bad on those sites for those particular sneakers.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, you're right. I
Mhm.
haven't, but I probably would for those.
Right. I think I will
Usually, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said I think I will for nostalgic reason. And I told you that I copped the sixes, the midnights, the navies for by default because I couldn't get the infrareds. And now they hold a little place in my heart. So I could see
Yeah,
myself getting those.
yeah. I've done Gold and of course eBay. But I've
Hmm.
bought anything off of StockX before. My wife has, but I haven't.
Hmm.
So, with something like that, usually like with the Lightnings, I took an L on the Lightnings, and
Hmm.
some of my people from back home, in Cleveland, looked out, and I was able to get them. But usually something like that will happen beforehand. Usually,
Right.
if I end up paying over, which is rare, because I mean, after years of running and working in shoe stores, I don't even be wanting to pay box half the time.
Right.
So
See, you already spoiled, so you feeling out of character having to pay retail, which I would too if I was in your shoes.
yeah, or pay it over. Like I had to reach back where I finally got the Shadow ones. I had missed them every
Oh,
time.
those is nice.
Yeah, I with the eBay authenticity guarantee, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just do it. I'm not gonna find these
Hmm.
for they're only like 220 or something like that for one
Right.
and 12 at this time. You know, can't beat it. So
Right.
I mean, you wear 12, you know how that is.
Right.
They're either here or
It's a weird size.
yeah, yeah. Because to me, 12 is not as common as 11 and not as common as 13. It's
Right.
kind of weird. So, but okay, okay.
Mhm.
Now, with what you decide to buy, what is the biggest influence on the purchase? I know you touched on nostalgia, but is
Right.
there anything else, or is it mainly just because for me it's just mainly nostalgia?
Um, I bought a few sneakers based on the art of storytelling, to be honest. And when I say art of storytelling, I could take it back to one of my first sneakers that I saw the presentation, I saw the detail into the actual shoe, and I fell in love with the whole storyline. I don't know if you familiar with the Ricardo Tisci Air Force Ones.
Hmm. I have some.
Okay. Yeah, so that particular release was executed perfectly. The from the box to when you open the box and you get the nice dust bag, and then you got the sneaker with the fresh leather and the different patterns on the back. That spoke to me. Because
Yeah.
at first I passed on it. I could have got them for retail and I passed on it, but then I saw them. And then I saw the storyline with it with the box and I have them sitting right here next to me right now.
Show me which way
Yo, let
you.
me show you. Oh man, let me get them.
I'm curious to see which color you show.
I got the whole set. I love them so much. I got the whole set of them, but I
Nice.
just got one of them. So when I say the storyline, you got this box with the USA flag, and you got the crowd on the side. Pardon me if the screen is small. It's on my cell phone. Then on the back, you got the flower. He really went all in with this release. And then when you open it up, haven't wore these in a minute. You got the fresh kick right there. Let me move the box.
Real leather.
Real leather. Like I love Air Force Ones, and these right here are some real Air Force Ones. Like seriously, you can see all the little stuff still in it. I barely wearing them. They still look brand new, but I love these sneakers. And like this was Nike's introduction to speaking to me. And from that point on, when they did things like that, I was in.
Got you. Yeah. Let's see here. Got a comment here.
Hmm.
When you ever think they'll ever bring back the air stab? Hmm. I
Mm.
mean, they've showed it multiple times, so I don't see why they wouldn't.
I think they will. It's just when they're gonna do it. It's like they're so slow at certain things.
Yeah, because I really feel like they test out what they're gonna retro with other stuff. Like you remember a couple years ago, they brought back all those air spans, and
Yeah,
it's almost it's the same time. So it's like if those would have blown up, I felt like we would have saw the stab then. But
right,
um, I don't know. I It's a niche shoe, so I feel like with the niche shoes, they're not limiting them where we know, but I don't think that they're making as many because now you got people reselling Griffeys and Barclays and
right,
stuff that
which is
get
crazy. I would have never thought they would be doing that.
yeah. So I really think that with regular Nike retros that aren't Jordans or foam posits, I feel like they just instead of them making, we'll just say 200,000, they might only make 100,000 now.
Right.
So especially in the OG color, they might come out with a new color and just whore it out, and it'll be all red one or something. It'll be everywhere, but that real color
Hmm.
you might find at this store and this store. So,
Right.
um, okay, okay. Um, we'll do something a little more basic and ask, what's your most recent cop?
My most recent cop. Man, that's a good question. Let's see. I recently got the. Damn, I'm gonna roll with the Air Force One's MCA's.
Mm.
Yeah, that was one of my recents.
Woo!
That's been on my mind for a while.
It's all white lows.
That's
Woo!
been on my mind. That's been talking to me, Chris.
Woo!
She's been talking to me.
Oh man, look at that!
Yeah,
Wow. Well,
and I
right.
wore them.
Oh, nice, nice. Well, I know you.
And
You
I
know,
wore them.
I know you've been about this for a long time, so I already know.
They,
Yeah.
huh?
With Billionaire Sim, has the resale game kind of diluted the love for copying sneakers? Not for me, but I'll get into that in a minute. Has it changed anything for you, CL Driver?
Nah, it's frustrating though, cause we actually into the culture. We love this, and we love what we do. And it just sucks when you really want something and you can't get it, or you gotta pay double, triple amount of the money to get it. And sometimes it's not worth it in those cases.
Yeah. Now I will say I feel like because my shoes range mainly from 11 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
It's some Converses where I can still do a 10 and a half. The Chucks run big,
Right.
but um, I'll just say for me, the resale. I'm not gonna say it's changed the love, but it has affected things because Jordans in a 12 really aren't that bad. It's some of them that are, but like other basketball shoes that are resellable, that 12 is a little rough. Like LeBron's
Mm-hmm.
aftermarket in a 12 are rough.
Mm.
Like we were at a Nike clearance store in Tennessee, and my wife found the red carpet retros.
Mm.
They were already at the clearance store, and then with my Nike discount, they only ended up being like $70. So
Mm.
they were only in size eights. There were no 11, no 11 and a half, no 12. And then she wore them, and I was looking at my original pair from 2009, and I mean they cool, but her pair was so fresh it made me not even want to wear them bitches anymore.
Right.
Then
Them
when I
joints
looked,
was
I'm like,
glowing.
yeah. StockX at the time, her size was like 140 on StockX, which is still
Mm.
that's how much a LeBron 7 is, only maybe
That's
$20 more
not
at
too
retail.
far from retail.
Yeah. So then I look at our size, the bitch is 280. I'm like, gosh,
Mm.
which isn't bad, but and again, maybe I'm saying this because I'm from Ohio, I'm from Cleveland, so LeBrons are a dime a dozen. I just can't see paying that much for
For
the
LeBron.
yeah, for that one at least.
Right.
What's up, Steve? Oh man, another NT legend, my boy Steve and SMC. What's going on?
What's good, Jay, man?
Yeah, you still. What did you wear today too?
Steve used to be sitting on them chairs with that leg cross. You know what time it was when Steve posted them pictures.
Even though I had a pair, I think Steve messed me up the baddest. He posted the Scream Green 96s. He's like in his stuff, and I was just like, damn, I have those, but the way he wear them, just like you've done me like that too, where it's like, damn,
Right.
I really need to step it up. So props
Hmm.
to him.
For
He
sure.
goes tired. Oh man. All right. Now with all the sneakers you have again a great collection.
Hmm.
What what is your not necessarily your favorite, but your go to shoe? Like
My go-to, like a sneaker that I just run into the closet, throw on, and go outside.
that one, and then the opposite, the one where you just try to just kill everybody wherever you're going. Like I'm about
Mm.
so that one, and then that one.
Um, if I'm feeling real good, I'm throwing on them off-white Chicago ones. If I'm feeling good. If I'm feeling good, those coming on. If you see those on my feet, I'm trying to feel good. I'm trying to say something at the same time.
So when you post them, you're gonna get a comment from me at the bottom like must be one
Right.
of the days.
And the thing with them is because they made so many fakes of them. So
Mm-hmm.
people who got the real pairs of those is like real short and few, and then the ones that just want to sell and make money, they trying to like cut people's heads off with these prices with them. I
Yeah.
was fortunate enough to not pay that. It was actually a gift from my wife. She got it from StockX, like the month like a couple of months when they came out, like 2 or 3 months after they came out. So people
Okay.
wasn't really trying to go up the price value with them, but when they came in, I was ready for you, Shorty.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. This was a birthday gift, so it makes it even more special. So these ain't going nowhere if I can help it, you know?
Yeah, they wife. I mean, that just makes it all the better. I mean,
Right. I
my
really like them
yeah,
because I'm a big one person. I like the simple silhouettes, such as ones, Air Jordan ones, Air Force ones, Converse Chuck All Star 70s. I dig those. I like Stan Smiths, things that I could just put on and you could wear casually, dress it up, dress it down. I'm with that, you know?
yeah. Let me go to this comment just right quick. Dope chick with kicks. Man, I've reconfigured my resale budget. I'm no longer paying over 250 for new drops. Hmm. I respect it.
Right. I couldn't imagine being a you can hear me, Chris?
Oh, my bad. Somebody was trying to call me, but it's
Also,
cool. Yeah.
oh my, also good. I couldn't imagine being a high schooler these days and times because I don't know how parents are doing it or how kids doing it. Like I was fortunate enough to be able to go grab sneakers and stuff, and I was able to afford them. But yo, how are these kids affording all this stuff? This stuff is could be very expensive when you start buying a lot into it, you know?
Yeah. I used to, when the shoe would come out, I used to not be able to wait till Monday to, slam it at school. But yeah,
Oh,
well, see, I'll go one step further and say, we're from the era where, it was the athlete. The athlete still mattered attached to the shoe. Like,
right.
I'd be surprised the kids still even care about Jordans because I mean, he's so far removed from a lot of their lives. They never saw him if it wasn't from YouTube or nothing.
Right.
So yeah, I'd be surprised. But I really think that when I come across kids, well, one thing that's going on down here that it's not like that back at home in Cleveland is a lot of
Hmm.
kids wear dirty white forces. Well, that's like a crime for us. Like, what's
Right.
dirty? Get them shits out of
You
here.
gotta move on, get another pair for sure.
Yeah, they especially the girls, man. They wear a dirty white Air Force One, the fancy ones. I had the white Jordan 1 mids. Um, I mean, Chucks are huge down here.
Mm.
Vans are huge. So I think they, I think they've started to look at other things because that black and white Chuck Taylor is like a Jordan down here.
Mm.
Um, I mean, working for Converse, and I've only been with Converse for 6 months, but this has been their biggest selling year ever. And this company has been in business, for over 100 years. Nike's only
Hmm.
on since 2003, back in the Nike Talk
Right.
era. So yeah, I mean, for this to be their biggest selling year, the kids are kind of switching it around, but for the fancy ones I see in the Yeezys and with the J's, I don't know how. I'm fortunate. My 13-year-old, he's just a gamer. He just wants
Hmm.
white wheat Timberlands, like he's from New York.
That's
So
my kind of guy right there.
yeah, so
Sound like he from New York.
yeah, yeah. He's got some LeBrons, and he randomly asked me for the infrared sixes last Christmas,
Mhm.
um, which I'm like, how the fuck do you even know about that? You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but I, but yeah, I don't know how the kids do it, man. I mean,
Right. Yo, more
now,
power to them.
yeah, now I know your kid is a little younger, but
Right.
is he already trying to get his drip together, or how's that going?
Um, he acknowledges kicks, but if he had to make a decision between kicks or games, he going with them games.
Yeah,
He going with them. He's a big time gamer too, but he do like having good sneakers too.
yeah,
So I don't force nothing on him. Like if that's the way he want to go, then that's the way he can go.
yeah.
But he does have a little collection though.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I saw the picture you had where he was like in front of the car or whatnot. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
fresh grown man, I know.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah, man. Well, oops, excuse me. Um, with the pandemic and everything, I know I
Hmm.
started the show with the, asking about 2020, but
Right.
what's the biggest adjustment, if any, that you've had to make regarding sneakers post pandemic?
To be honest, I took a little break from kicks when that was all going on. My mom was in other places. I wasn't even on Instagram as much as I normally would have been, like, just showing love and browsing and seeing my people's stories. But I really wasn't centered on kicks. It kind of went to the back burner for a little bit.
Okay.
And plus, I feel like I have a lot of the stuff that I'm gonna need. Sometimes I say, "Oh, I don't need any more," but little things that'll come out, I'll cop. But for the most part, I'm happy, man. Like I don't have everything, but I have everything that I need. That's how I go about it.
Okay. Well, I have to ask,
Hmm.
all the stuff that you have,
Right.
you've had several different collections over the years, but is there
Yes.
is there a holy grail for you, like a shoe that you just never been able to touch, or
Mm. My holy grail would have to be. It was the linen Air Force Ones, but I recently went back, finally found my size, and secured it. So it took me like 3 years to find that sneaker, and I was actively looking, and I finally found it.
yeah? How did you feel about Kith remaking it?
Yeah, that's the one I got.
Oh,
I felt good because I feel like Kiss remaking it helped make the sneaker fresher, in the sense of I know it's not the old one because I did have the old one a long time ago, and I know if I would still have that one, that thing would fall apart. I had a couple of forces actually fall apart on me.
really?
Yeah, the inside crumbles. The sneaker looks intact, but the air cushioning, when you wear it, it's making noise and bits and pieces of it'll fall out.
Wow.
Yeah, that happened to my Rashid Rose. I think it's Rose
Rose Garden.
Garden.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got those.
Mm.
I can't wear them. They'll be destroyed.
Yeah, I always wanted those. They retroed them too, but I missed them again. So
Yeah. Oh, they recently retro though.
it's been within the last couple of years, but they made them again.
So that must be the pair I have because I know I don't have the original ones.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
all right, all right. Yeah, for me, most of my grails are from the Nike Talk era.
Mm-hmm.
The Espo Air Force 2, it slipped through my hand,
Woo!
and now it's just too.
Woo!
So, uh,
Ooh, the Espo.
yeah.
Mm.
Usually, if I find them for a price, I'll be willing to pay. The plastic has already started cracking, or the 3M is
Mm.
off, or uh, so I've
Good
kind of
luck finding the socks with them too.
yeah. Usually, if I do find them like dead stock, you be wanting like 3 or 4 thousand. Like I
They
just never,
want 3 or 4 thousand for those now.
yeah, with the socks if it's dead stock, but
Yo,
yeah,
I've owned a pair of those years ago, and at the time they were like 500, and that was like big money at that time.
yeah.
So it was like five. So I found them for like four something. This was years ago, and I ended up getting them back when SB Dunks first jumped off. I found them.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So, those the wheat maple SBs.
Hmm.
Put my hands on those. The high tops.
Mm.
Um, what else? The Kashima Antlers Air Max 97. Now I could find them, but it's just are they going to be wearable since they're from 2006?
Right. That's
So
the tricky part. I
yeah,
stopped buying stuff that late.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and then my all time Grail of Grails. It's actually probably due for me to post it again because it's been a little bit. Is the Air Max 2 94 runner, the white gray.
Mm.
So
Mm.
unretro. So if they ever
Ooh.
quit, I'll just quit sneakers. You
You
know,
done?
yeah, back with
You
those.
never done, Shorty. You're never done.
Hey,
No.
I'll put it like this: if they retro that Air Max 294 runner, because I had the white, gray, and blue one, but I never had that
Hmm.
white, gray until. If they came back with them, I would not buy any other sneaker for 6 months to a year and try to buy every 11 and a half, and 12 I could find.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
but I might would just quit because there's no shoe I want more than that.
Mm.
As bad as I want the Espo, as bad as I want that wheat maple SB
Mm.
or that Kashima, that Air Max 294 trumps it all.
Mm.
That's like my grail of grail. So they're never on
You,
eBay. Even original pairs broken down, like I never see them on eBay or nothing.
mm.
So they're just gone. But
You were never into the SBs when that whole scene was popping off?
yeah, but I have most of the ones that I wanted other than
Right.
those wheat, wheat highs with the maple swoosh.
Right.
Really, I mean, some Paul Browns,
Ooh.
I mean, it's some older ones I'd like to have, but I wouldn't necessarily call them grails. I just like to have them. But a lot of the SB dunks that I want, I actually have. So
Right.
it's
I'm
a
shocked that they came back the way they did because a couple of years ago I still had my last one I owned was the Stussy,
mm,
with the cherry on it.
yeah. Whew.
I had those. I used to beat them things up, and I had them in my car when I used to get stuck in snow and put them because they were dogs, but I still kept them around and warm. And I remember when I first around the time I first met my wife, I used to have a two-door car, and I used to get stuck in the snow a lot here in New York. So always have them in the trunk, threw them on, and I ended up having to throw them in the garbage. They were so beat. But now I see they're going for like $1,000 to $2,000.
Yeah, they go. The very first Nike ID dunk that I made was me trying to replicate them, but it just wasn't the
It
same.
was just the
Like,
same.
yeah, I have them. The pink is like a brighter pink, and they didn't offer that the darker color. So I just use red. So I have some red
Hmm.
pink I made, that are supposed to be them, but they don't look anything like them.
Mm.
The pink is too off, and again, I can't think of the word I want to use for that. The color of the panels, but
Right.
um, what is it, maroon or whatever? You know what I mean? They didn't have that as an option, so those are my wannabe Stussies. I'll send you a picture after the show, so
All
you'll be
right.
like, they're not.
Yeah,
uh,
but when they first dropped, they weren't that bad. Like they were retail. People slept on those.
yeah,
Nobody was thinking about them because they were thinking about the Tiffany's at the time, the Tiffany dunks.
yeah. I'll always remember that picture on Nike Talk with that kid with the Tiffany outfit, like walking by the line.
Right, remember that?
Yeah, that's a classic picture.
I
Oh
got
man,
those for retail when they dropped.
mm,
Crazy
yeah.
story with that.
See, in Cleveland, we didn't really have any SB accounts,
Hmm.
so I had to like reach out to people in other cities and people out of school
Right,
at the time, or because like we had one, but they would only get them sometimes, and it was a whole thing where they only really wanted to sell to skaters, and at the time
right. They did.
I'm
Right,
making money. I ain't no skater. I just want the dunks.
right.
I don't care about them being SB. I just like dunks. So just you know, are you gonna sell them to me or not? You know what I mean? So
Right.
that was the one thing we had, but then by like '07, we had a couple of accounts. So by the time the
Mm,
around, you could get them. So
mm.
but yeah. Well, I gotta ask. I mean, somebody like you don't really, this probably doesn't really apply to you, but have you ever taken like a hard L on a sneaker like you really wanted? Like, damn, I really wanted this and wasn't able to get them, or
Yeah, of course, all the time.
really?
Yeah. I want to pay retail too. Like, I'm not trying to pay these kids college tuitions. I want to be able to say I scored a pair too for retail.
All right. Well, what's the pair that you took an L on and you had to do that if you don't mind me asking? I mean, if not, it's
What pair did I? I had to do that with the Travis Scott lows, the lows, the Air Jordan 1 lows.
okay. Well, the
Cause
brown ones, the older
the
ones.
brown low ones, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cause I ended up scoring the highs for retail. I got them on the sneaker app, so I got those. So being a collector, if you get one, you're like, I got to get them low tops. So when I
Yeah.
went to get the low tops, I paid a little bit above price, but they're going for 4 times as much as I paid right now. So I'm
Yeah.
happy with that.
I feel it. I feel it. Um. How does your family, like your parents, everybody, how do they feel about your relationship with sneakers?
Yo, it's just they grown accustomed to me. They don't pay me no mind. They like, oh, when they see me, I guess they expect to see me. Oh, what new sneakers you got on today, or stuff of that nature. But my wife is, she's actually been in the sneakers as well. So
Cool.
so it's nothing to her because she's also into like sneakers and shoes and things of that nature. So, but as far as family and friends, they already know what time it is. They see me, they're, oh, what sneakers you got on, and they know that's my passion.
Got you. Got you.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Um, what's the shoe that everyone, all your people that are in the sneakers around you, love, but you just don't fuck with? Or is there one?
Mm. I just can't mess with these new basketball sneakers. Like they just not my thing.
Yeah.
Like the KDs. I bought a pair for cheap for working out at the gym. I tried the Paul Georges. I got a pair of Paul Georges. I got a pair of Kyries. They're just not comfortable, man. And they're not like how our era basketball sneaker was. So the new generation basketball sneaker, you can't even wear it with like an outfit. You can't style it. Back in the days, we had some penny ones. You could throw on the penny ones with an outfit or some 11s with an outfit.
Yeah.
You know, Grant Hills with an outfit. I don't even know if they know who Grant Hill. But these basketball sneakers, I couldn't imagine wearing them with something. And then they hurt. Like I tried so many times wearing it. They're not comfortable. My Kyries, I have to struggle to put them on,
Yeah,
you know?
Kyrie are unnecessarily narrow.
Right. So I'll just stick to like some Air Force One lows if I'm gonna go to the gym or something, and Air Max for like running or something.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Hmm.
I just want to say that's the thing I miss about Kobe's, and I don't really wear my Kobe's enough.
Hmm.
It's sort of like Dunks, where since everybody wants Kobe's now, it makes me not even really want to wear it.
Right.
Have
It's crazy.
you know where how it was if you weren't a Kobe or Lakers fan or a Hooper, you weren't wearing the Kobe's.
Right. Exactly.
He wasn't wearing them, so um, I kind of miss his shoes because they were made like kind of like Air Maxes without the bubble.
Right.
You know, I've always loved LeBrons. I still collect LeBrons, but they can be a little bulky. So it's like you got to wear that with the right jean
Right.
jogger, to get the
Right.
effect of the shoe. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't even know why Paul George has a shoe deal. So
Right.
that's, I mean, I was gonna say one of the biggest differences between being down here in North Carolina and being back home in Cleveland is down here outlets are a part of the buying culture. Where in Cleveland we only really have one, and it's like kind of further out, so it's just the foot stites and it's like a couple of spots, but the outlets are just flooded with Paul Georges everywhere. PG3s, fours, and even five.
Mm.
They're everywhere. IDs, people returns, like just I don't even know,
Wow.
like
Mm.
you know, shit. Let me get a shoe deal if it's gonna be like.
Were you messing with the LeBron's first games when they first dropped?
Yeah, I have them mainly just because I was at the first game
Woo.
in Cleveland.
Mm.
Because and I don't even know why they called him that because his first real game was the game in Sacramento we had on the white, black, and red ones. But
Right.
I was,
Exactly.
yeah, I was at that first home game, and in the box I have like the ticket and you know
Hmm.
the little card that came with it where he's got on like the white suit. So
Right.
I messed with him, but I fucked with LeBron's because it was like I was buying a piece of Cleveland history.
Right.
Because we never had anybody. I mean, you couldn't have told me in sixth grade when Michael Jordan was killing the Cavs every couple of weeks that we would have
Hmm.
someone on that level play for the Cavs. Like it was unheard of,
Right.
unthinkable. So you know, to have a
Right.
not just a Cleveland superstar, but like a worldwide. So
Right.
yeah,
And they did a good marketing job with him from the start. From the
absolutely.
beginning, that marketing job was really, really hands-on approach with him and pushed his name out there. So the
Yeah,
first couple of sneakers I ended up getting, like from the ones to the eights, I think it was. Yeah, ones to the eights, I messed with them.
yeah. Now people used to hate on me when he left. I was so high on the Lakers having won the championship that I didn't want him to leave, but I didn't care like a lot of other people. Um, so I kept buying his shoes, all the way up
Hmm.
until the current one. I never stopped. So, I knew morons that were burning his jersey, trying to tape it back up when he came. It's like y'all stupid, man. Like
Right. Like what's that gonna do?
yeah, like I was one of the few people I always thought he was gonna come back to Cleveland, and he did. So
And he did. And won a championship.
yeah, yeah,
That was big.
yeah.
Major.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 5 years, and I still, when I see that block or I see Kyrie hit that shot, it
Hmm.
still touches me here.
Right.
I'm Lakers, so and it's weird to see LeBron on the Lakers. It's still strange for me.
Right.
So
That's a
you know,
publicity stunt.
yeah, yeah. So a lot of jerseys, a lot of hats.
Right.
Oh man. Well, with your current collection, I know you said you've been at this current one since fifth or since 16, 17.
Right.
Where do you see your collection going in the future?
That's a good question. I just see me building on the things that I really want and I need. No impulse buying, just stacking on the things that I really truly like. So if it ain't in my heart, then I'm not grabbing it. That's where I'm at with it.
So, they're supposedly bringing back the Orlando Penny One. Are you going to grab a new pair of those when they hit the shelves?
Of course. Got to. Definitely.
Like my 2010 retro is still cool, but that freshness. It's just something about having a fresh pair.
Right.
That white side with the blue swoosh is
Hmm.
have a fresh pair. So okay,
Right.
all right. Well, is there anything else upcoming that's on your radar?
I'm digging those off-white twos, man. I'm feeling those. I'm liking what's that? Virgil stuff. His take on these sneakers. I like his take. I like his spin on it. It's rough. It's like a rough draft of a sneaker, but it's the way I got an art background, by the way.
Okay.
So the way he just brings his flavor to those sneakers is something I'm feeling. Like him, like I told you before, Ricardo Tisci, what he did with the Air Force Ones. I liked Kanye to an extent, but I ended up getting rid of all my Yeezys, and I only like his I would say his slipper wear. Got the foam runners and the slides. Those things I dig. I dig those. But as for his sneakers, I have no interest in having any of his sneakers.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know?
All right. What are your feelings on Travis? I mean, I know you got some.
Um, it's unbelievable. I still can't wrap my head around how these musicians are gaining mass popularity with these kids. Like before, you had to be an Anthony Hardaway, you had to be a Tim Duncan. Like these sneakers were made for these athletes, but to see these superstars like carry these brands like that is amazing. Like it's something I would have never expected. Because when I used to see Drake drop a couple of his renditions on certain Jordans, it resonated, but it didn't really do what Travis is doing. Like this kid is like really on steroids with these sneakers.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I just feel like I understood what Drake was doing. I did a couple of releases
Mm-hmm.
with his, people bought them because they were,
Drake, limited, right?
but they just weren't. They weren't like the Travises to the point where, you're playing with different colors. You can't just come out with white and gold or black and gold.
Right, right,
That's too much like a regular inline color. You got to do something different.
right,
So, and even with this Naka stuff, some of the apparel looks nice, but those white shoes, I could have swore those came out when we was young in the '90s, man, and they were
right. It got that feel to it. Yep.
yeah. So, um, I'm kind of surprised though that they're letting Travis touch all of these silhouettes. So it's not even just
Right,
Jordans, Air Maxes. Now it's supposed to be a Trainer One in the works.
right.
You know, so let's see.
Hmm.
I just I'm with you. It's just like Billie Eilish with those 15s. I want those 15s, and the 15 is the worst Air Jordan ever made. But
It is very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
you couldn't hoop in it. You couldn't wear it. Like with that fashion. It goes with today's fashion, but like I used to try to wear it with like iceberg and shit back in the day, and it's just still
Nah.
like it's like a fake Prada shoe that was more affordable. With
And they had a few colorways to them too. They had the Carolinas, the navy ones.
that Carolina one is the best one. Like if they
You
retro,
like that one?
that's the best one. Black
It
and
was
red
too
one,
white for me. It was too white. It was way too white.
I could live with that. I mean, it's probably the only 15 that I would buy over again.
But it was widely accepted though. Surprisingly, a lot of people went out and bought that sneaker.
Yeah, yeah. Because I tried to hoop in it indoor, outdoor. It was not. It was
Nah, man.
sliding all over the place.
Right. They were not comfortable at all.
And that tongue, like it works for today's fashion, but not back then.
Right. Not for us back then, right?
Yeah, but those tan ones, have you seen them?
The ones that the girl made?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they look all right.
Yeah, I could mess with them. I just wish they weren't her. Like I don't have nothing against her. I don't,
Hmm.
know her music or whatever. I've seen her in some commercials, but just the fact that it's a collab makes it harder to get. If that was just a regular 15 retro, you might be able to go in the store and just get that boy.
Right. But that's the case for a lot of the sneakers now. Come on, if the Travis one was in the store and mass produced, no hype behind it, them things will still be sitting in the store.
Even
And
with
dunks.
Jordan ones being the way they are, you feel?
I don't think Jordan ones because it's Jordan. Like Jordan sells. So
Mm,
regardless, he sells, you know? I've never seen an era where he did not sell. And if he did sell a little bit, it's because the it was a wide release and everybody was able to get it.
yeah. Okay.
So there was that period of time, like I think around 2006, when nobody really was checking for Jordans like that too much. Well, in New York, I don't know about other places, because everybody had a pair of Jordans. It just got to the point where when you look at somebody's feet here, they had on Jordan. So kind of lost his lust at one point here in New York.
Yeah, I feel like Jordans have had cool periods. It's just like from like the middle of 2015,
Hmm.
really up until that off-white Chicago one. Jordans were a little. If it wasn't the one, and even the ones, it was a little.
Right.
Let me get an Ultra Boost or. I'll always say Adidas won 2015 and 16.
Yo, they did. I give them that. Hats off. They
Yeah,
really did.
but
And I
not.
like that. I like that it's competitive. I like that Nike doesn't have the stronghold on the market no more. I like that Adidas, they're saying something, and Nike has to step up their innovation and technology to keep up with them because that boost technology is comfortable, especially in the slides. Oh my goodness.
I feel like Nike doesn't really have to. So I feel like Adidas. I mean, they still got the Yeezys and the Pharrells,
Hmm.
but now if I'm Nike, I'm more worried about New Balance than I am Adidas.
Right,
New Balance
right.
making some noise like
They are.
more than I thought they ever would. So yeah, that's also different.
Uh,
Well, give me your top five shoes in your collection.
Top five shoes in my collection. I'm gonna go with my MCA1, Air Force One, my linen Air Force One, Chicago, my Chicago. I got a Chicago actually, a
Okay,
regular. Yeah, I got a Chicago. My Chicago. That's my top. Um, Union. That collaboration with Union LA was well executed, like how we was talking about before with the storytelling and the box and etc. I think I got one more, right? Who's gonna get that spot? I'll go with a pair of Chucks, man. I'll go with a pair of Chucks, bro.
all right, cool.
I'm gonna go there.
Oh man, well, what color?
Black,
Gotcha,
black highs,
gotcha. Yeah,
black highs.
yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, do you have any
Hmm.
questions?
Um, what's your top five?
All right. Magic Johnson Converse weapon.
Mm, mm.
My Chicago ones,
All
the
right.
495.
Mm,
The blue phone posit.
mm.
Um, Concord 11
Okay. Yes, definitely.
and Neon 95.
Okay. Classics.
That's the top. But um, since I've literally had those Chicago ones since 8th grade, those are like my most prized sneaker possession.
You got the retros or the original?
Well, the 94, 95
Okay.
reissue. I have some original neutral grays, but
Mm.
they even don't mean as much to me as those Chicago's, just because they're a they're a 10.5, but I can still fit them
Mm-hmm.
because I'm convinced that in the 90s they made the shoes bigger
Right.
because they feel like an 11. You know, like,
Mm.
I can still do an 11 in some shoes. You know, even though I may
Right.
have 12, but yeah, those are probably my most prized sneaker possession. Those Chicago.
Mm.
And this is before the hype. That I've had that shoe so long,
Right.
so it's been with me through everything. So
Mm.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's what's up.
sure, man. Well, definitely appreciate you, being on here.
Yo, definitely. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate being here and talking kicks with you, man.
No problem, man. We'll definitely do
Yeah.
this again.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
All right, man. Well, make sure to have a good evening. I appreciate everybody for watching, joining in, commenting. I'm gonna get better with these comments. So, EL driver. I'm Shorty C94, and we'll see y'all soon. Peace.
All right, later, Shorty. Peace.
All right, peace, man.
All right.